probably think you know who the ultimate prehistoric predator was. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? The king, the tyrant lizard, the one that makes even Hollywood tremble. Well, think again. Turns out the T-Rex had some seriously tough competition, and it came from a lineage even older, even more terrifying. They forgot to put this guy in Jurassic Park. This is Ulughbegsaurus, a name you might not recognize, but trust me, after today, you won't forget it. This giant predator roamed Uzbekistan 90 million years ago, and it was bigger, badder, and had a set of teeth that'll give you nightmares. Think T-Rex, but with the jaws like a great white shark. Yeah, it was that intense. And what's even wilder, this beast was ruling its ecosystem millions of years before T-Rex even showed up. How come we haven't heard of this apex predator before? Well, the story of Ulughbegsaurus is a complex puzzle, one that's only just starting to be pieced together. It all started with this bone. For decades, this partial skull sat in a museum, misidentified and overlooked. But in 2019, a team of scientists took a closer look, and what they found blew their minds. This unassuming bone belonged to a creature unlike any they'd seen before. Using their expertise and some serious detective work, they reconstructed what Ulughbegsaurus might have looked like, and the results were, well, monstrous. They realized that this wasn't just some ordinary dinosaur, it was the apex predator of its time, ruling Uzbekistan with an iron claw, or should I say, teeth. Now I know what you're thinking. Where was this thing in Jurassic Park? Why haven't we seen this behemoth on the big screen? Simple answer, Ulughbegsaurus is a relatively new discovery. Its story is only now being told, and it's rewriting everything we thought we knew about the reign of the giant predators. So buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the world of Ulughbegsaurus. Get ready to learn about the last king before the Tyrannosaurs took over. Let's talk size, because it matters. Because with predators, that's where the intimidation factor really kicks in. We all know the T-Rex was massive, right? Around 40 feet long, towering over everything else in its environment. But Ulughbegsaurus, this thing didn't need size. And it wasn't just about length. Ulughbegsaurus weighed in over a ton, which is heavier than a bison. This was a dinosaur built for power, a walking tank of muscle and teeth, designed to take down prey far larger than itself. So what exactly did this behemoth feast on? Well, picture the lush landscape of Uzbekistan 90 million years ago, a world teeming with giant herbivores, lumbering sauropods with necks reaching for the sky, heavily armored ceratopsians, and herds of duck-billed hadrosaurs, all prime targets for a predator as formidable as Ulughbegsaurus. But its most fearsome weapon? Those teeth. Let's zoom in on the fossil that started it all. That partilla maxilla, the upper jawbone, tells us everything we need to know about Ulughbegsaurus's hunting style. Those teeth weren't your typical T-Rex bone crushers. No, Ulughbegsaurus had something far more sinister. Serrated teeth. Thin and sharp like a shark's, perfect for slicing through flesh. Imagine the force of those jaws clamping down. Those razor-sharp teeth tearing through muscle and tendon. This wasn't a dinosaur that nibbled politely or crushed its prey in its jaws. It took massive bites that inflicted devastating wounds on its prey, often causing them to bleed out. Now, scientists are still piecing together the full picture of Ulughbegsaurus' skull, but what they've found so far is tantalizing. This dinosaur had a bite force that would rival even the most formidable predators in history. It's likely Ulughbegsaurus could tear off chunks of flesh with a single snap, leaving its victims bleeding and helpless. But those shark-like teeth weren't just for killing. They were perfectly adapted for scavenging too. Imagine Ulughbegsaurus arriving at the scene of a kill, those massive jaws tearing into the carcass, stripping away every scrap of meat. This dinosaur was a true master of its domain, dominating the food chain with its brutal efficiency. So let's take a step back in time and transport ourselves to the world Ulughbegsaurus called home. 90 million years ago, Uzbekistan was a very different place. Imagine a warm, humid environment vast floodplains crisscrossed by rivers, lush forests teeming with life. This was the Biscetti Formation, and it was a dinosaur paradise. Ulughbegsaurus was the apex predator of this vibrant ecosystem, sharing its territory with a diverse cast of dinosaurs. There were giant sauropods like the long-necked Dinosaur titanus grazing on the treetops. Herds of hadrosaurs like the duck-billed Levinosovia roamed the plains, their constant chewing a symphony of the Cretaceous. And then there were the armored dinosaurs, like the heavily plated Biscetapelta, trying their best to defend themselves from the jaws of the king. It was a world of giants, a constant struggle for survival, and Ulughbegsaurus sat at the top of it all. But Ulughbegsaurus wasn't completely alone in its reign. It shared its ecosystem with smaller predators, like the nimble Timolurgia, a distant relative of the tyrannosaurs. But at only around 10 feet long, Timolurgina was no match for the might of Ulughbegsaurus. It likely stuck to smaller prey, avoiding direct confrontation with the king. Imagine these two predators, worlds apart in size and power, coexisting in the same environment, each playing its role for the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Now, despite its dominance, Ulughbegsaurus's days were numbered. Across the globe, a new dynasty of predators was emerging, the tyrannosaurs. These powerful carnivores, with their massive heads, bone-crushing teeth, and insatiable appetites, were spreading rapidly, taking over ecosystems that were once ruled by dinosaurs like Ulughbegsaurus. In fact, if we look at the fossil record, we see a clear pattern. Carcharodontosaurs, the group to which Ulughbegsaurus belonged, were declining, while tyrannosaurs were on the rise. It's a classic tale of survival of the fittest, a changing of the guard in the world of prehistoric predators. So what happened to Ulughbegsaurus? Why did this mighty predator vanish from the face of the earth? Well, the exact reasons are still shrouded in mystery. Scientists believe a combination of factors may have contributed to its downfall. Climate change could have played a role, altering the environment and disrupting the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Shifts in prey availability, perhaps, due to the arrival of new herbivores or the declining of existing ones, could have put pressure on Ulughbegsaurus's food supply. And then there's the competition from the rising tyrannosaurs. These newcomers were formidable rivals, and perhaps they outcompeted Ulughbegsaurus for resources, although this is still highly up to speculation. The extinction of Ulughbegsaurus marks a pivotal moment in prehistory. It signifies the end of an era, the fall of the Carcharodontosaurs, and the rise of the tyrannosaurs as the new kings of the dinosaur world. But Ulughbegsaurus' story doesn't end there. Its discovery has shed light on a crucial chapter in dinosaur evolution, resulting in many new species being found in the area as well, which revealed the diversity and dominance of these ancient predators. Ulughbegsaurus' story is a reminder that even the most powerful creatures, like the tyrannosaurs or the Carcharodontosaurs, are not immune to the forces of change. Our planet is constantly unfolding, and new discoveries are being found every day that are rewriting dinosaur history. Imagine a world where Ulughbegsaurus had survived, where Carcharodontosaurs continued to rule the roost. Would the T-Rex have even reached its iconic status? Would the course of dinosaur evolution have been completely different? Would we have an Ulughbegsaurus in Jurassic Park instead of a T-Rex? These are questions that paleontologists are still grappling with. And with each new discovery, the picture becomes clearer. But one thing's for certain, Ulughbegsaurus was a true giant of the past, a predator that deserves its place in the history of prehistoric monsters. The quest to understand our planet's history is an ongoing adventure, and paleontologists are the explorers on the front lines. They're the detectives piecing together the clues, the artists bringing the past to life, and with every new fossil they unearth, they're rewriting the story of life on Earth. So the next time you think about dinosaurs, don't just picture the familiar faces of T-Rex and Triceratops. Remember the lesser-known giants, the predators that ruled before the tyrants took over, the dinosaurs whose stories are just beginning to be told. And that's exactly what I'm doing on this channel. I'm telling the stories of the dinosaurs that are not well known, that are even more ferocious than the most popular ones from movies. So if you want more videos like that, make sure to like and subscribe. And I know you're probably itching to learn more about the prehistoric world, so I've got you covered. If you're fascinated by all things dinosaurs, then you're gonna have to check out my video coming soon, where we dive deep into the prehistoric oceans.